to Media Bites. This is Random Rob.
Hello? What? Who are you? Where? My lucky number? What? Principal is out. Hey!
I have a special place in my heart for some films that have serious flaws, whether it's from a personal desire to go against popular taste, or to find something good in something bad. It's not a cynical thing. I don't like these films after the neo-hipster fashion because they're bad, but because they're almost good. Because there's some excellence in them despite their problems. So, Snake Eyes from 1998. A brightly lit film noir about two friends who work in security, one a cop, one a naval commander, on the night of a big boxing match in Atlantic City, during which a U.S. senator is assassinated as a hurricane lashes the stadium. As the night wears on and the storm gets worse, a conspiracy unfolds. And as it does, the film's strength and purpose unravel, leading to a problematic and unsatisfying conclusion. Made more unsatisfying, perhaps, by how good this film starts. The opening 10 minutes or so of Snake Eyes is a nearly unbroken, continuous track of Cage's character as he navigates a busy sports arena, interacting with a dozen or so shady characters, spelling out who he is, and shorthanding the tone of the film. We are right on the edge of criminality and order. The world is loud and brightly lit, beautifully unreal and over the top. The camera doesn't stop moving. Cage's Ricky Santoro doesn't stop talking. It is a delightful, dizzying piece of crafted exposition.
You and me, Tyler! Yeah! Go, Tyler! Go, Tyler! Go, Tyler! Go! Go, Tyler! Go, Tyler! Go, Tyler! Whoa! Lincoln, Tyler! Lincoln, Tyler! Lincoln! Ow! My lucky number 7.
Gee, that's a new one, mister.
You are sunshine on a stormy day. You should work in the casino.
Oh, I'm gonna. I mean, I wanna. This is
And I notice that bright, sharp plainness to the visuals that one associates with Hitchcock. And understanding that the film takes place in this overblown, cocaine-fueled world was what won me over about Snake Eyes. The film is loaded with overlapping POV, split-screen images, long tracking shots. It's technically brilliant for what it is. Added to this, Ryuichi Sakamoto's soundtrack is, when it's not doing its more traditional-sounding action cues, which at points recall Silvestri's Predator soundtrack, like here, compared to this, when it's not doing that, it has some wonderful dreamlike ambience, usually when it's suggesting the two female leads, Julia, the myopic mystery woman, hiding from the police. This was the first time I remember seeing the striking Carla Gugino. Or Serena, the redhead who diverts Sinise's character, Kevin Dunn, and turns out later to be one of his lieutenants.
Hold on a minute. I was talking to you back there. Where do you think you're going?
I'm going to the ladies' room. Is that okay with you?
In the middle of the first round, you're not much of a fight fan, I guess.
Look, Sarge, I don't know who you are, but you have no right to hassle me like this.
Look, I get paid to hassle people, ma'am. Show me your ticket or I'll have you escorted out.
Okay, I don't have a ticket. I mean, I have a ticket, but it's way up there in the nosebleed seats, and I couldn't see a thing. So, listen, I do this all the time. They always let me get away with it. Come on, it's no big deal.
It is tonight.
What's so special about tonight?
But surely my favorite theme, and my favorite dramatic moment from this film, comes when Rick questions the heavyweight Lincoln Tyler, played wonderfully by Stan Shaw, who's paid to take a fall and unknowingly becomes an accomplice in the assassination. At one point, angered by the immaturity of his opponent Rios, he accidentally hits him too hard, almost knocking him out and losing everything.
Yeah, I'm right here. What are you trying to do with that weak stuff you got? Come on. You're too slow.
I was just trying to shut him up. I barely even tapped him. And I almost won the fight.
Go see Devils! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Get it up!
You punch like a bitch! This is the fight! Hit me!
He almost steals the whole film right there, and it's a wonderful little homage to prizefighter genre films of the past. Like most thrillers of this type, the core of the conspiracy, the MacGuffin, is not something terribly interesting in and of itself, and Snake Eyes at least is surely self-aware of this. De Palma spoke as much after the film's release that he was not trying to make a boring police procedural, but more a mood piece about how the relationships of the characters in the film are tested by their circumstances. At first, this is where the film excels, in the lead performances by Cage and Sinise. Gene Siskel of At the Movies spoke positively of the film's performances when it came out.
Snake Eyes doesn't add up to much. Most of the time the story is forgettable, even when the honesty of the main characters is questioned. No, when I think of Snake Eyes, I don't think of a story. I think of two very fine actors working hard, very hard, without a net to entertain us.
Well, I'm afraid I can't give this movie thumbs up, and I'll tell you why. I think about 40
Ebert, not so much. I personally am not typically a big fan of Nicolas Cage, but there is something brilliantly throwback to 50s film noir in his character here. Ricky Santoro is a small-time sleazeball who's become a cop and a big shot in his hometown.
This isn't a beach town anymore, it's a sewer.
But it's my sewer, Jiminy, and I love it. I kick around about 6 square blocks. Everybody knows me. I got the whole town wired. Someday if I manage to get my face on TV a few times, maybe I'll run for mayor or something, but that's as far as I want to go. Because I was made for this sewer, baby, and I am the king!
Look at this!
The tragic elements surround his ultimate decision to play along in a deadly conspiracy his best friend is involved in, or follow the flicker of his tarnished morality.
I never killed nobody.
What?
I said I never killed nobody.
You won't have to. She's my problem. You just tell me where she is. You'll never hear another word about her. $1 million.
But, unfortunately, the ending, the final 20 minutes of the film, drag badly, and never really feels like anything has happened. Rick doesn't seem to turn as much as he just gives up, and there's no reveal of anything other than the will to complete the plan in Sinise's character Kevin Dunn, while Gugino's Julia just hides in a room, and Ricky struggles to walk to her in an endless sequence. I think De Palma may have been referencing On the Waterfront's ending, but it just doesn't work here. It's really confusing trying to understand what went wrong. Despite the fact that the film is intent on exploring the dynamics of these two men at the very end, it really doesn't. Like The Boxer, this film takes a fall of its own. It's too bad. How David Koepp and De Palma used this ending as written, when it's such a clunker, is a mystery. There was also some odd press in the LA Times, before the film was released, about how the studio wanted the film to be PG-13 rather than R, and De Palma had to do last-minute re-edits, particularly to the scene where Tyler beats Ricky. Further in the article about how the studio didn't want the public to think Snake Eyes was like De Palma's earlier, bloodier films. Which is where it gets more confusing, because then the film was released with an R rating anyway, not PG-13. And yet it's a very tame film. There's blood in it, and swearing, and some implied sexual and drug stuff, but nothing overt or brutal enough to warrant an R rating. It's confusing. But this was a transitional period where Hollywood began to favor rated R material less and less in favor of the PG-13 film, which in theory would increase audience attendance, and began a general decline in adult-themed film that continues to this day. As if 13-year-olds were the only people who watch films. Anyway, as for the rating, I guess the studio thought the film was too tame and wanted it to seem more edgy and adult, and punched up the press to create some buzz. In hindsight, considering Snake Eyes opened the same weekend as Saving Private Ryan, I think it did pretty well. Costing around $70 million and making $100 or so million worldwide. It made back its money, even if it hurt De Palma's reputation. Ultimately, while the individual characters don't add up to any noteworthy arcs, the film itself as a whole still manages to convey this manic, dreamy film noir energy that rivets me for most of its running time. The ending doesn't work, but the rest is still some pretty cool Hollywood glitz. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. Also look for Media Bites on Facebook. Feel free to leave any comments in the field provided below. I'd really like to hear from you. Once again, this is Media Bites, and we'll see you next time.